monsters. They brought me alive, but got no alibi. It's a rebel spot without an alibi. Took my hands without an alibi.
Heard them say our best days pass us by, and most long for a place that they never find. I'm afraid I wake up when I die, and it is too late to climb any mountain. Time is of the essence, the blood running through our core. It's best to not feel sorry when it's over. I will be the greatest that you've ever seen before, and I'll stay eternal. Eternal. Eternal.
Nesses últimos anos, para a Confederação Nacional da Agricultura, Senar, que tem apoio irrestrito da nossa Federação da Agricultura do Estado do Pará, nós temos aqui no céu os três principais protagonistas para receber os senhores dessa mesa. Nós queremos agradecer a presença do secretário de Desenvolvimento Agropecuário da Pesca do Estado do Pará, Giovanni Queiroz, aqui representando o
Xavier, e a diretora executiva do IDH Brasil, Daniela Mariuso. Eles vão receber nesse momento. Por favor, salve de palmas. Eles vão receber nesse momento, primeiro, claro, o nosso anfitrião. Eu queria chamar aqui o nosso presidente do Sindicato Rural de Castanhal, Almir José Lopes Campos. Por favor, Almir. Convoco também a nossa presidente da Associação Paraense Pecuária Forte, Márcia Centeno, representando não só a força de todos os produtores, mas representando...
He is sitting at a table where there are other three people called Paulo Costa, representing the Brazilian Association of Beef Exporters, Daniel Freire. Representing the Center for tannery industries in Brazil, Ricardo Andrade. The coordinator of the Ministry of Agriculture, Bruno Leite. Some important messages while we receive our guests. First, this is the launch of the program called Sustainable Calves Production in the state of Pará. It's a voluntary participation, and we want to promote continuous improvement in this sector. The complete solution and customized solution of technical assistance will include financial and management, the management of pasture, environmental and land adaptation. That that is what will be conducted in the state of Pará. I would like to invite our friends for their participation here. We're going to start talking about this, but let us start with my friend Almir Lopez, the president of this house. Over to you. Not only you as our host, but you lead one of the main rural unions in the country. Good morning, everyone. I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to FAEMA for choosing the Rural Union to host the launch of the program called Sustainable Calves Production. It's a point of no return for us. I want to thank the organizers for choosing us to host this event. I want to thank the directors of the union. We have open doors to do whatever it takes. And through our union, we want to leverage this program. I would like to greet all our guests on the stage on behalf of my childhood friend, Fernando Lobato. I hope you all have a good day. Thank you all. Thank you for your words. I now want to turn it over to the president of the association, Fernando Lobato, not only coordinating this association. Good morning, everyone. We are honored to participate in this program. We were invited by President Xavier and our friend Almir. This program has to include everyone, all producers, small, medium, or large. And all of us, unions and associations, must be ahead of the program. So we want to provide our support to the Federation of Agriculture and all the other associations involved here. Thank you. Fernando Darcy Lobato, a long-time partner. Thank you so much. There are different authorities present here, but I would like to remind those online over 180 people, 184 to be more precise, people following us online. Greetings to everyone. A relatively new association that was key to create this program shows the strength of women. The Pará Association called Pará 40. Marcia Centeno, over to you. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of our president, Xavier, I want to greet all the members on the stage and everyone watching us. The association called Pecuaria Forte, of which I'm part, decided to join this program for believing in it. As it is tied to the federal traceability law, it will be beneficial to farmers. So we are here representing farmers in order to promote improvements in the sector. We know the challenges we face day in and day out. And with this partnership that is already a success in Mato Grosso, it will be even more here. I would like to remind you, well, Daniela will explain, but I will speak as a farmer. Is a voluntary participation. We will receive technical assistance that will be beneficial to farmers because it will provide environmental and animal support at no cost to the producer. This is a very important and relevant fact because all of us as farmers, we know all the costs that we have to face every day. So I would like to thank Daniela for your support. I want to thank IDH, the state government, and everyone present here. And do count with APPF because, above all, we're all cattle producers. Thank you very much. Thank you, Marcia Centeno. Congratulations on your job. To listen to the industry, and the industry is so important. Nothing better. Nobody better than our friend Paulo Costa, representing not only Castañal, but our association of producers along with the industry. Good morning, everyone. I want to thank you for the opportunity of participating in this event. Our president is Daniel, who represents the sector. I'd like to remind you that we are experiencing a moment of many challenges and we must benefit our potential. Although it's been very hot lately in Brazil, but there is a lot of rain here. But not always do we have the necessary resources. We can do a lot more and better every day. I'm certain of that. I want to greet our partners here, Giovanni Queiroz. I think we've known each other for some 40 years, although he's still very young. President Almir Gabriel, who heads this house efficiently, and all of you, Marcia, my supplier. That's it. Let us do better. And I'm sure we can do better every day. Thank you all very much. Thank you, Paulo Costa, representing not only all our industry, but he's representing our industry partners. Now, I would like to invite the representative of our ABIEC, the Brazilian Association of Beef Exporters, Daniel Freire. Do you bring good news from Asia, Daniel? You have to share good news with us. Good morning, everyone. Secretary Giovanni, President Xavier, everyone on the stage. It's always a pleasure to give our support. As far as the beef industry is concerned, this is work being developed already in Mato Grosso. It got to our state, it got to the governor, and he was very excited about it. So he wanted to bring together different minds to discuss this program. So I'm very happy to be here. The state of Pará was the last state to be recognized as free of hoof and mouth disease. We are sentinels of the rest of the country. While they were conquering markets, we were the last one to achieve access. We were outside the European and the US market. Something we have been doing in the beef sector in Brazil is to try and open new markets. Only by doing that can we evolve. We can't value our product if we are restricted to certain markets. So the Minister of Agriculture has traveled a lot abroad. I just came back from India. We can't sell to India, but we can sell to Indonesia. When we were invited to be part of this work group and to promote traceability for our herd in Pará, we were very happy to be part of the program, but we know how challenging it is. We mentioned that this program was adopted by farmers. We have a group of farmers present here, and they are here representing farmers and producers. Without your leadership, this project won't move forward, and the industry will support the program and do whatever is upon our reach. We must provide productivity improvement tools and also sanitary improvement tools in order to improve performance at the farm level, to improve the quality of our beef and industrialize the best beef in Brazil. And Pará will be the first state in the country that will be able to trace 100% of its herd and do count on the beef industry, Daniel. If we speak about beef, we should also speak about hide. We have the pleasure of receiving the representatives of the Brazilian tanning industry, Ricardo Andrade. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of our association, I want to thank everyone, especially to IDH, the producers, the federations, unions, everyone present here. It is a pleasure for us to participate supporting this project from the very beginning. The tanning industry has worked alongside with everyone in this project. We understand that it is certainly one of the solutions that we are looking for whenever we speak about the traceability of indirect suppliers. And we believe the IDH's solution gives us the conviction that we are on the right track. You have our full support in the program. Thank you very much. Thank you. Let us speak about the Ministry of Agriculture now. The General Coordinator of the Ministry of Agriculture, Bruno Leite, who we will now speak on behalf of the ministry. Welcome to Pará. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Ministry of Agriculture, I want to thank FAEPA, IDH, and everyone for the invitation. First and foremost, I want to commend the organizers of this event and this initiative for this project in the state, because what we see is this project brings sustainable caps production to the state, adding to the current efforts to promote sustainability in our crop and livestock production. I would like to emphasize that the sustainability we are talking about is sustainability in the three pillars: economic, social, and environmental. When we have a farmer recovering pasture land where animals are identified, managing productivity, having more profitability on the farm, sustainability, environmental sustainability will come along. That adds to the public policies and other initiatives that are occurring in Brazil. So I want to once again congratulate everyone, especially producers and farmers, they will be the beneficiaries and the whole supply chain because everyone stands to gain. Producers, the beef, and the tannery industry. So the Ministry of Agriculture would like to provide you all our support. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Bruno, for joining us today. Congratulations to the work you do, for the work you do, rather. It is time for us to listen to the president of the Federation of Agriculture in the state of Pará, Carlos Fernando Xavier. Let me greet everyone. I was taking a look at the list of participants, so many important people. Our directors, I can see many of them. I would like to mention the following. When we were invited by the governor and with the presence of the governor, he asked us to work on traceability in this state. I told him that on the 13th today, we would hold this meeting. And he said, should I use a different mic? We have to move fast because this is an urgent project. On the same day, I invited everyone for a dinner at the Federation, and a work group was created that day. So, what do I want to tell you that in the decree signed by the governor, and here is the decree, you have already appointed who will represent all your entities. Giovanni is here representing the governor. I'm sure you've already selected your representative. I only need to receive another 2 or 3 names. The decree sets a period for that. Second, there has been a change in the coordination, that is, with the chief of staff's office. Mr. Giovanni will be able to coordinate that. And this decree sets the 24th for the work to be concluded. It's in the decree. What do I want, Marcia? This is my request to you. Let us schedule the date of a meeting in Belém to conclude that. And I want us to comply with this decree. I want to meet that deadline. So I want to thank IDH for the work you are doing. Paulo, thank you very much. But I want to tell you the following. I have a quick comment to make how important this project is. There are so many people here. Jesus is also here. We can't have a meeting without Jesus present here. We had been doing this in the state of Pará for over 20 years. The state of Pará had to buy beef from other states. This beef was flown to the state of Pará. Today, we have the second largest herd in the country. We have the second buffalo herd and the third equine herd. We produce so many different crops. We're going to be a very important citrus producer in the world. We we live on extraction mainly. The state of Pará invited Brazilians to come work in the state of Pará, and we must integrate the Amazon region. We're talking about something that started almost 60 years ago. You were not around then. At the time, there were only 2 million of us. Today, there are 9 million of us. In the past, we had only 49 municipalities. Now we have 144. The city of Belém represented 70% of our population, and today it's only 22. Pará has been making so much progress. The then Minister of Agriculture came here to pay us a visit to see what we were doing to preserve the forest. And he invited us to support him. So, what did we do? In 2009, we met him in Marabá along with the governor, and we signed an agreement. That was in 2009, 14, 15 years ago. A farm where illegal deforestation was present, the animal transfer record couldn't be issued. We spoke to him, we brought in Brapa, we signed an agreement. The general director of Depara is not here, but Rose is. You worked at Depara, right? And to issue the animal transfer record, we needed to know whether or not there was illegal deforestation. Today we have internet. At the time, it was a lot tougher. We commissioned a company from Sao Paulo to provide satellite internet signal in 17 areas of Depara, and for 3 years we paid for that. I wanted to tell you that all of us in Pará were the first movers on sustainability, the protection of forests, everything you can imagine. We have the strictest forest code on the planet. In the past, we could use 80% of our area to produce. Today, it's only 20. And I mentioned that we could use the state of Pará for economic activity. 25% of the state was already an indigenous and maroon reserves, a military reserve, but environmental reserves were growing. And he understood that we should define an area for economic activity. And we created Law 6745. Nobody has that in the world. We can use up to 35% of our territory, but that is the size of São Paulo and Paraná together. 65% is forest, the biggest natural asset the world has. And some silly people abroad keep bad mouthing us, saying that we are destroying nature, and we are not doing that. That's the truth. And in order to go to big centers, farmers have to travel 60% more time a road will be built on top of a forest. You know how costly it is. And all of us, Para taxpayers, are paying for that. I want to tell you, I know that I speak too much, but I needed to share that information with you. We already have traceability of different agricultural crops, but we are now doing it with calves. And along with IDH and CNA, with our important partners, we're going to do this project. And nobody can work alone. And this is one more proof of what we want to do to benefit our citizens. I always mention that we don't need to tell any lies about our states. We only tell the truth. And we must tell the world everything we produce and export, everything done here is legal. Thank you all very much. Thank you, President Carlos Xavier, the President of the Federation of Agriculture in the state of Pará. I'd like to invite the Secretary for Crop and Livestock Development, Giovanni Queiroz, representing the Governor Elder Barbalho. Thank you, Guilherme. It is very important to discuss this topic. I would like to greet everyone. I want to greet all the farmers, my colleagues. No, you're not included in this project, but I am a farmer myself. My father was the oldest of 11 brothers, and at 18, he was working the land with a hoe. At 18, he finally went to school. And all the family traveled a lot to an area that today we would call a green field. And from there, they went to the state of Goiás. I arrived in Goiânia when I was 7. And I would play with the animals during my vacations. I really loved our travels to the countryside. It was so hard to travel along dirt roads. It makes me happy to remember those experiences. I'm so happy to be here among farmers and producers. People always start talking about the past when they reach 60 years of age. I used to grow different vegetables at my farmer's house. I would collect eggs laid by the chicken at home. And then we set up a small chicken farm. I went to Rio de Janeiro to study medicine, and that's what I did. And I was the first physician in 1972 in the city of Redenção. We moved to a land my father had bought, and we had to deforest then, and Bank of Brazil would finance us at the time. That's how I created my farm. After that, I bought other areas, but we had to deforest 50% of the land so that you could receive the land title. And some quote unquote environmentalists scream saying that we are destroying the world, that we are deforesting the Amazon region. That's a joke. The Amazon only represents 2% of the Earth's surface. 62% are seas and ocean, and oxygen is captured by the algae that feed the fish. But we want to be the partners of preservation. But that forest must provide enough for our population to survive. It's a legitimate request. I'm here speaking on behalf of the governor. Governor Elder invited me to be Secretary of Agriculture, and he gave me all the support I needed with more technicians and experienced people. He has a fantastic execution ability. The world today requires traceability, not only in the beef sector, but the whole agricultural production. The world is requesting that. Everything is being traced today. All the oranges and lemons that we export are already being traced, and that's legitimate. Well, governments abroad will take care of their own population, and they must request what they consider appropriate. And today we have auditors from Brazil and from abroad inspecting our beef. But everyone wants to know how that beef is being produced, how that cattle is being raised, how meat packers are paying their employees, how food is being produced, just like in other production arrangements. When we mentioned that to Governor Elder, he immediately said, I want that program. I want the traceability of 100% of our herd in Pará, not just calves. It starts with the calves, but we want to have traceability of the whole bovine herd in the state of Pará. And all the meat packers want to buy cattle with traceability, full traceability. Otherwise, you won't buy from us. I'm very happy to be here. Perhaps people from Castanhal will be familiar with a gentleman called Paulo Costa. I met him a long time ago. I'm 77, you're 78, right, Paulo? Xavier is only 76. I think it's a lie, but I believe him. But Paulo, at the time, started buying the calves we had to slaughter them here. They didn't want to ship beef by plane anymore. They wanted to bring cattle to supply the local market. Paulo did it. You have all my respect. You help the state, but you help producers. And I sold animals to him. And sometimes he paid in advance. He's always been a good payer. Let me just tell you that we're going to do that throughout the state. There are some entities or NGOs You represent an NGO, right, Daniela? And other organizations that are participating in this process with us. They are helping us because they have experiences in other states.
And we have to look at what's been successful elsewhere and then adopt it here. Governor says something, and I agree with him, that meat packers or tannery companies, they will have to pay a little bit more for traceable beef because there's a cost to that. Okay, are you willing to pay a premium? Oh, yes, he is. Also, because for you to export leather, you need that. So, yes, you have to pay a premium. Let's give him a hand because he's willing to pay a premium. Yeah, so you're going to be charging more. The producers, everyone will everyone will be willing to pay more for traceable products. So, on behalf of the government, I'd like to tell you that the government of the state of Pará is here to work with you and adopt new technologies to comply with the requirements of international trade, which is going to be increasingly more demanding. We need to adopt more technology in our farms, and we need to organize otherwise we will be lagging behind. We can increase our productivity. Our average today is 1 animal unit per hectare, right? That's our productivity. That's the average, right? And some people will achieve 10 animal units per hectare. I would be happy with 2 or 3 actually. In pasture management and herd management, you can produce better quality products with better genetics. In Castanhal, there is a technology center run by the university, and also we are working together with them. And this technology that's been developed there is available for the farmers in the state of Pará. So thank you very much. Thank you all for having joined us this morning. If you're here, it's because you support this cause, and that's important. Yeah, you were talking about animal unit per hectare. So in this project of Pro Pará, you need to have at least 3 animal units per hectare. But there's some farms where they grow 13 animals per hectare. We have large hydroelectric power plants here in the state of Pará. So there's power and there's water. So you have power and water. You just need to irrigate your farms. And with that, you can have more than 3 animal units per hectare. Irrigation is indeed a technology that we needed to use in different sectors. Irrigation, indeed, it's very important. So greetings again, everyone. And in case you have good ideas, you are friends of mine. And come to me with your good ideas so that we can move forward together. There's some outstanding initiatives in farming in Brazil. I'd like to thank Ulysses Nova for being here. Also, Maria Menses is here, so they came with you. I'd like to thank them for having joined us this morning. S- So as a secretary, I see many people who come talk to me, and I've learned a lot. So beekeeping can be very profitable. Jamir is here as well. Jamir, resident of Ade Pará. is going to take my chair. You play a key role in this process because traceability goes through him. Let me greet you, Jamir, here, because you interrupted my speech. But I was talking about beekeeping. There's someone here, I forget your name. I'm saying here that there's a big challenge in Brazil, which is tax reform. The taxes are supposed to increase. It's taken us 30 years to be on a level field. Why is it that our industry has grown? Because of tax problems that we've been able to overcome. There was so much tax evasion in the past. We talked to the governor about that. It's a serious problem we will be facing because in some industry, the tax rate is going to be nearly 30%. So this is yet another challenge we'll be faced with. Also, I'd like to thank the governor for having sent police officers to this region because we were suffering from violence, and that's being solved. Thank you. Yes, let's see what tax reform brings us. But I was talking about beekeeping, and there's someone here who raises fish, and he's producing 15 kilograms of fish per cubic meter of water. So 50 kilograms per meter cubic. Where is that person who was talking to me about that? What's his name? Marcos. Marcos, you produce tilapia, right? Where are you? Maybe he's left. I'm going to be visiting his farm next Saturday. He also produces flowers and is in charge of the flower arrangements here today. Because with new technologies, you can be more profitable. So 13 animals per hectare a year with new technologies can help you cover the costs of this type of concentration. But thank you again and have a great day. We're gonna have a presentation about the project. We are at your service. The governor is at your service as well. Thank you very much. Thank you. Please take your seat. Paulo, it's great to be here with you. I'd like to go on to some acknowledgments before we move on to the second session. There are some people here who are part of the story. So thank you, Francisco Fonseca, for being here, coordinator of environmental initiatives at agriculture. Also Costa, also president of Agri Pará. Thank you. Julie Sampaio, general manager of Ade Pará. Jesus Sena, superintendent of MAPA, is here as well. Thank you. Rodrigo Fernandes Mesquita, president of Fundepec, Chief Development Fund of Roraima, who's here. Thank you all, everyone from Roraima who's joined us this morning, which is in Roraima, we are designing a similar problem. So Rodrigo Mesquita, thank you for being here. Also, there's a friend who's here. I'd like to thank her. Fabiana Vilaus, thank you for being here. She's one of the most important experts at Embrapa. She's a carbon professor. Dr. Eliana Zaka of the Beef Commission at FAEPA. Thank you, Eliana, for your support, which is so important for the work of the Federation. Karina Moraes, presenting the Federal Board of Veterinaries. Thank you, Karina. Thank you, Christina Mosher, Women's Commission. Thank you. She's also representing the academia. Gilberto Bripo, ex-president of Chemos, and today with FAEPA. I'd like to thank all of the professors of the Federal University who are here today, animal science and veterinary science professors who are here today. Thank you. My friend Maria Domingos Paulino, technical director of SEBRAE. SEBRAE is an organization that is part of this program as well. It's an important partnership. Lucas Martins Mises, National Farmers Union, Fuso Barros, Farmers Union from Corubá, Mato Grosso do Sul. Thank you. Corubá and Castanhal are establishing a partnership as well. João Rocha, president of the Pará Association of Buffalo Farmers. Thank you. Yes, I mentioned, I mentioned, I mentioned that in Roraima we are having a similar program. Palestina, everyone knows who he is, so he doesn't need introductions, but I will. But then later, Eduardo Cruzeiro, president of the PPO. Thank you, Eduardo. Thank you, Eduardo, for having come. Amado is here. That's Amado. Amado, he even teared up when the secretary mentioned the ox-drawn cart. Thank you so much for being here with us and with CNA. Thank you, José Carlos Costa, mayor of Ipixus in Pará, also a member of the Farmers Union there. So the colonel of military police of Pará is here with us as well. Thank you. Commander Guimarães of the 2nd Police Platoon is here as well. Thank you. Sergeant Ivaldo is here as well. Thank you. And Officer Ricardo. Let's give him a hand. Let's give a hand of for the military police of the state of Pará, who they've been so supportive of our farmers. So they do deserve a round of applause. Thank you so much. Colonel, we were talking about the highways here earlier this morning and how dangerous they used to be. So thank you. I'd like to thank the police in the state of Pará. They've been very active here and very supportive. Thank you. Thank you for your support to farmers in Pará. Now, Daniela Mariuso, representing our partnership with IDH, and this is going to be making a presentation about the program we are adopting in the state of Pará. Thank you, and welcome, Daniela. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of our team, I'd like to thank you for your hospitality here in the Castanhal Union. It's been awesome. Also, I'd like to thank all of the organizers of this meeting. It's a milestone for us. It's a transformation that is underway. I'll be brief because we have a packed full agenda, but later on you can come and talk to me if you have questions. Also over lunch, I'll be around. So I'd like to explain to you what the program is, the Sustainable Calf Production Program. And also I'd like to introduce IDH to you. IDH is an initiative for sustainable trade. It's a public-private initiative that supports sustainable production all over the world. We work with different partners in the public and the private sector. We also work with NGOs. So at IDH, we focus on trade and marketing. So IDH initiatives are always linked to sustainable use of land and of the whole production of raw materials. Because for us to have sustainable trade, we need to work first with production. And production needs to be the engine of the transformation we need to see in the world. We are here to connect farmers, producers, people who are adopting transformation out in the field using trade, because without trade, there's no income generation, there's no benefits, and with and that eventually reaches consumers who wanted to benefit from this type of product, and this needs to give farmers a return. It's a two-way street. It's not just the adoption of criteria and requirements, but also their benefits that are yielded through trade. This is a map that shows where we operate today. So we are in roughly 40 countries and developing different types of projects. We've been in Brazil for 14 years, working with partners here. As I mentioned, in Brazil, we've been since 2015 developing programs, for instance, one in Mato Grosso. It's a 15-year strategy we've had there, and is this program again mentioned how important Acrimat is, the Farmers Association in Mato Grosso. We started a sustainable calf production project then, working with cattle ranchers to be the partners to implement the program, because the credibility between farmers is key. So that's why we are here today. It shows that we are in alignment. The first step of the program was held in Juruena, here in the Amazon region, and the Araguaia Valley as well, and now for nearly 2 years in the Pantanal region. So these are the 3 biomes. We are working with nearly 600 farmers, 200,000 calves have been included in our database and are being classified according to this protocol. Also, I'd like to point out that there is support centers for farmers, working in partnership with farmers associations, and this is a type of model we want to replicate here. There are trained experts there who can talk to farmers and answer questions, not only regarding questions about sustainable calf production, but questions about rural database and the land deeds and funding opportunities for projects. So we believe that soon we will establish a support center of this kind here as well. We work with a number of partners. Most of them are farmers associations. For instance, one's in Sorriso, soybean production, also in the state of Maranhão. So these are associations of farmers. Natcap is a Saltas and Sebrae as well. In the northeast of Brazil, where we started working last year, we are working with local partners. There are local NGOs and also international NGOs. Now, let me talk to you about the program itself. And I have a surprise. Don't know if it's going to be a surprise, but there's something very cool that we will show you. It's already there. Can I talk about it? So many people today told me that they're here because they want to understand what the program is. I think it's going to be easy for you to understand what the program is because it's been designed based on input and feedback from farmers themselves. We asked them, how can we invest IDH money in such a way that's going to be helpful in this chain? So if we invest €1 together with the private sector, what's the best areas to invest? And the answer was in small cap producers because that's where you can have greatest return in terms of land use, continuous improvement, and also quality of animals. So we've designed this program. We started back in 2016. So if small farmers are profitable when producing calves and other activities, if they are profitable, and if they work in compliance and if they have access to credit, the activity is economically viable and environmentally sustainable as well. So what is it that small farmers need? The answer was these 5 points: pasture management, genetic improvement, herd management, environmental and land compliance, and financial management. So the Sustainable Calf Production Program is based on these 5 pillars. In 2019, we started deploying this out in the field, and this program is a partnership with the farmers. So you pre-register for the program. There's a QR code that you'll be able to use here if you wanted to pre-register for the program. And then we might visit your farm to learn more about it. And then you get orientation on how to get land and environmental compliance. Also, we talk to farmers and give them knowledge, but then farmers will need to make relative the required investments. And we put a plan together. We don't tell you what to do. We are not prescriptive. We work together on identifying improvement opportunities, and then we work together in a way that does not disrupt your production. So it's a step-by-step program. There's also expert support for the recovery of permanent environmental protection areas in the farm. So this is a brief timeline. I started resources started to be invested out in the farmers in January 2019, and the expert support, as I mentioned, it's a service for farmers. And the farmers receive all of the orientations early on, but then it's not that they are ready overnight. They need to be monitored. So there are regular visits to the farm, and also there's ongoing technical support. With this program, we've put together a protocol, which is a document working with CLIMAT and CNA. And the document includes the criteria for classification of farmers according to market criteria. I will go into more details about that because that's an important point regarding your farms and caps. We did a feasibility test for the initial herd that was tagged in 2019. We sold beef in a supermarket in São Paulo with zero deforestation option. As was mentioned before, this is a program of voluntary participation. And there's modules, for instance, you can have 0% deforestation or 0% illegal deforestation. And last year, we had the international launch of the protocol. So this is just a summary of what's happened so far. And we also adopt what we call an incubator model. We are working with nearly 600 farmers and 200,000 animals are on the platform already, but that's small when you look at what is necessary. So have to scale up this program and work with investors so as to scale up the program. As I said, it's participation is voluntary. And again, we are working with CNA. That's why FAEPA approached us last year in March to learn more about the protocol. As Xavier and Giovanni were saying, farmers who are doing the right thing want to be acknowledged. It's important that there is traceability down to the farm so that they can be acknowledged. So there are 3 modules that are available in this protocol. We understand most animals in Brazil are in basic module where you use just basic compliance. This is the basic module. There is also this module that called the legal module when we look at the basic compliance, also zero illegal deforestation. And in this module number 2, we can work on individual traceability, and this is where we might scale up because there's a commitment. There's going to be 1 million animals in the platform by December 2025. And this is one of the reasons why I would like to thank FAEPA and the companies and farmers for their support in saying that this platform is going to be useful for everyone. And thank you for your support so that we can really have 1 million animals in the platform.
This module, zero deforestation, where we verify whether or not there was deforestation, and that will be included in the animal identification by batch or individually. We have Matias, Alexandre, and Paulo Costa here, who is an expert on traceability, and he can talk to you during the breaks in order to explain a little better how the system works. This is public information on the CNA's webpage, and these are the initial results. After 4 years implementing it, Even during the pandemic, we continued the implementation of this program. These are the results today. And the main figures up until August 2023, 527 producers in the three biomes I mentioned, the total intervention area 344.5 thousand hectares. Studies have been conducted on pasture recovery. It is estimated that over 383,000 tons of carbon have been sequestered, and the conservation of over 188,000 hectares as part of the program on the farms. So there is a QR code available identifying the animal or that batch. So suffice to scan the QR code to obtain all that information in a partnership with FAEPA. This is the area appointed by the FAEPA technicians. Could you go back a slide? The northeastern hump of the state of Pará, where we started to understand that there was that demand to help settlers in the region because they are the main producers of calves in the region and they need technical assistance. It is very important for us to have the representatives of the settlers because we want to work with the settlements that will produce those calves and they need technical support. The calves are bought from them and sent to the backgrounding operation. So this is the initial program area. We are just beginning with total support from FAEPA and from the Senar system. It's a very fruitful partnership because the technicians are familiar with the territory and the outreach of the program. We want to train all the producers with our technicians in the region. So today we will be privileged because we are moving from an incubation phase. The state of Mato Grosso supported us and still does. So the state of Pará received a tested and well designed program. We're beginning to give scale to this program with you, and we invite you all to scan the QR code you can see on the walls and in the hall outside because you'll be able to register and learn more about the program. There is specific information on the program, and we are doing it with above control, a company focused on information digitization and information technology. We need at least another 1,800 producers on the portal, putting together the state of Mato Grosso and Pará. We have 3,000. By the end of the year, until the beginning of next year, we expect another 1,200 producers to start receiving technical assistance, and we need another 1,800. So if the farmer is watching us online, but from a different region, we're gonna ask them to scan the QR codes so that we can provide specific information about the program. As I told you before, we have this page that we call the producers page that will contain all the information you need. If you have no internet connection, here we have Wi-Fi available. Just connect to our Wi-Fi network and scan this QR code after you are connected, and that will take you to a landing page. This is the first step of a major transformation because this is just the first step in learning more about the program. It is important to show you as well the role to be played by each actor. IDH is contributing with 250,000 euros in a partnership with Natcap, the expert company that has been developing the program with us since 2017, 2018, to implement all this strategy and methodology along with FAEPA and the Senar system and APPF that are members of APPF here because the acquisition of the caps through the identification is very important. It's important to maintain traceability. Besides training small producers, it is important to maintain that traceability, and the buyer of the caps should know how to use the technology and maintain that information in the system that provides sustainability until it gets to the final product. That's why the leather industry is here today. Brazil exports almost 90% of the leather produced. And it's important to have zero deforestation leather, but we do not have complete traceability from the producer to the end product yet. So the total investment is 750,000 euros. We contribute with the resources. The FAEPA Senar would come in as technical services, training, hours worked, and the services in the region where we are operating. So that's the schedule for everything to be ready by December 2025. We hope it is concluded before. We began with 160 producers, and we estimate we will have about 600 until mid 2025. And these are the estimates of the areas that will be involved in the program in this first phase. That was it. I would like to once again thank for your hospitality and the wonderful organization of this meeting. This is a very special day to us. So thank you so much. Thank you, Daniela Mariuso, for your presentation. We don't know all the names, so I want to introduce Matthias and Andres. Could you come forward? Alexandre is coming to the stage. And all the IDH team, Adelaine, Cesar, Alex, Daniela Torresan, Manuela, Paulo, and Lilian. This is a team that has vast experience We contacted them to work with us. They have been our partner from the very beginning. Where is Lillian? They are partners of the state of Pará. They came here to add forces with Senar to train people. They were going to be working with our producers. They bring important experience in this initial phase. So let me continue. I want to thank the whole team. Let us put our hands together for them. Let us take a picture. Thank you very much for bringing all your knowledge. Next, we will sign important documents and MOUs. I'd like to invite Daniela Andrade, the president of the tannery industry in Brazil. So I would like for both of you to come forward. This is a very important document to us. It is important to have this document in order to benefit the tannery industry. Be certain that you will have top quality leather from the Amazon region. So as I said, quality leather. Congratulations, Daniela, Ricardo. I'd like to invite Giovanni Quiroz to sign the document between IDH and SEDAP. M- Ulysses has already read the document. For the participation document, I'd like to invite Mr. Kenji Nogami. He will have the first animals with traceability in the state of Pará. I'm not going to explain anything. You are going to explain, Daniela. Let's hear it for Mr. Kenji. Kenji Nogami. He is a model farmer. He will sign an agreement for the sustainable cows production in the state of Pará. It's the participation document. Mr. Nogami has already signed in using the QR code, and he's now formalizing his participation in the CABS program. It is an honor for us. This is a historical moment, and it is very important not only for the state of Pará, but also for Brazil. Marcia Centeno, we also need your signature. Now, Marcia Centeno representing APPF. Today's event was supposed to be held at Marcia's farm because she is already participating in the program. We're going to give farmers a number in order of participation. Now, let us take a picture. Let's hear it for them. Next, I want to thank everyone here today, especially Kenji Nogami, Marcia, Ricardo. Now, I would like to introduce people that will be working out in the fields, people in the forefront of this operation. The whole Senar team, Maria Goretti, Celso, Arlen, Eugenie, Benedito Guilherme, among others, representing Senar. They will be working out in the field. This is the hands-on team. Along with them, I would like to invite the Natcap Matias Almeida and Alexandre Correia. This is the hands-on team. Where is Alexandre from Natcap? Carlos Xavier, Francisco, Francisco Oliveira representing BOV Control, thank you, Francisco. They are representing the Senar team. There are many Senar people watching us online. I want to thank everyone, the technical team, and these guys are representing everyone who will be taking part of the program. Well, right now, we want to present a new face for the state of Pará. This is a very important moment for us, for the state of Pará and our cattle production. We're going to ear tag the first calf of the sustainable calves production, the implementation of traceability from the farm to the end of the supply chain. I would like to invite Daniela, Paulo, Francisco, and Matias. We're going to see the images on the screen. And this is the activity that will be performed on the farms. We're going to watch the ear tagging on the screen. So this is the first calf in the state of Pará to use the official number 076 from the Ministry of Agriculture, identifying the origin of the animal anywhere in the world. Let's hear it for them. Several producers are also present. I want to thank everyone watching us online and also in this auditorium. But this is a very important moment for us. I want to thank everyone, Mr. Kenji Nogami, the IDH team, Senar, everyone joining us today in this initiative. That's the way it works. I would like to tell you that this is a very important image for us. The state of Pará is bringing us a very important moment. Now we can see the QR code that you have to scan in order to register. They will ear tag another 6 calves, but now they will pass it on to the technicians to do it. So I want to thank Almir and the team. We are very proud to be present in this rural union. All the Depara team is also here. Could you invite them to come back to the room for us to continue with our event now? After we conclude this activity, we want to invite you for lunch. And I want to thank all the participants here and a large number of people online. IDH, Natcap, and FAEPA will be available to provide you with more information. As I said, a very important moment. Thank you very much to Daniela Torresan and everyone involved in the organization of this event. This is just the beginning of a very important program. what I heard or what I overheard is that the authorities got carried away and they are now talking to other producers outside. That's why they haven't returned yet. Mr. Samir representing the Pará, I want to thank him and the whole team for their relentless efforts. So we had the meeting today. Once again, there is the voluntary participation. So please use the QR code to register. We want to move on to complete and personalized solutions and technical assistance that Natcap along with Senar will provide. Everything coordinated also by CNA. I want to thank everyone present here and all of those watching us online. We're going to conclude our activities and everyone present here is invited for lunch. So thank you very much and I hope to see you soon.
All alive. The devil's in the detail, lingered inside. Oh, a holy crime. But how can I hide you without an alibi? It's a lover's fight without an alibi. You took my innocence. I can't wait no longer. I'm playing with the monsters. Everything that brought me alive. Though we're all like monsters, playing with the monsters. They brought me alive, but got no alibi. It's a lover's fight without an alibi. You took my innocence without an alibi. Smoking gun, you got me on the wrong. We know that will come. We're all up till dawn. But how can I hide you without an alibi? It's a lover's fight without an alibi. You took my innocence. I can't wait no longer. I'm playing with the monsters. Everything that brought me alive. Oh, we're all like monsters, playing with the monsters. They brought me alive.